Coronation Street villain Corey Brent has become one of the ITV soap's most hated characters, and it seems despite making an exit this week, he will return to cause havoc in a few years' time. Corey, played by Maximus Evans, has had a huge impact during his 2.5 years on Coronation Street, from his controlling behavior towards his ex-girlfriend Asha Allahan, Tanisha Gorey, and murdering Seb Franklin, Harry Vizinoni. This week's episodes of the ITV soap will see his reign of terror finally come to an end, but the official circumstances behind his exit are yet to be revealed. The actor who plays the young villain, Maximus, has now hinted his character won't be killed off and he will be back to cause trouble in the distant future for those he believes have done him wrong. With the police obtaining evidence Corey was Seb's killer and not Kelly Nealon, Millie Gibson, they will begin their mission to put him behind bars. Knowing his time is limited and with a contract waiting for him in Germany to join a football team, the long villain plans to flee Weatherfield. Alongside him is his father, Stephen Brent, Paul Opick, who arranges the transportation which will allow his son to leave the country. However, spoiler pictures have teased the van holding the murderer will stop mid-journey as something blocks the road. All signs are pointing towards the killer being arrested and incarcerated for his crimes, but this might not be the last viewers see of the thug. Speaking ahead of his exit from the show, Maximus explained how he would like his character's journey to end, and he explained, "I'm like the majority of the audience, I despise Corey as much as they do, so I'd love to see him behind bars." With villains, the show has had previously, there's often the expectancy that they die, but in a way then they've cheated their own outcome. If you take someone like Pat Phelan, Connor McIntyre, who was a serial killer, who one by one took people out before he died, then that's not the case with Corey. He's an accidental killer who killed Seb in an outburst of rage. I think him being behind bars would emphasize the fact that there are consequences to our actions at whatever age. Corey is only a 17-year-old lad, but his age shouldn't get in the way of his outcome, which for me would be him having a hard time in prison. Hinting at a return, the actor said, "He may not leave the show for good, but I've recently moved down to London to further my training at the Guildhall School of Music and Drama. At the same time, that's only 2 years, then I'll be back on the market as they say, so we'll just see what happens from there. It's been a great taster at Coronation Street for TV and acting for screen, but I'd love to get back into theatre. As an actor, it really tests you, and I just want to challenge myself as much as possible and take on a role that's really different to the one I've created at Coronation Street. Of course, I've loved the last 2 years, it's been some of the best times of my life, the experiences and the people I've met have just been incredible." Maximus continued, "I owe the show a lot, so of course I'd come back. I'd love to see it happen further down the line to create that bigger impact if it ever was to happen, but I love the show and it's been an honor to be part of it." If he is incarnated, the youngster is unlikely to take the decision lightly and will want to find a way he can get out. With his father turning his back on him, the youngster will have a long battle to fight to try and make the judges see he shouldn't serve a whole life sentence. 5 years in the future, the villain could finally be granted his wish, and with no one left to support him, he will be on his own. Having had time to plan, the youngster could return to the cobbles to get revenge on those who ruined his life. Asha will be top of his list alongside her girlfriend, Nina Lucas, Molly Gallagher, after they handed in his bloody clothes to the police. With no family by his side, no parents to bail him out, no professional football career and no friends, he will blame the couple for everything. Though he would have to be clever with his plan to make sure the girls were torn apart, but he still maintained his freedom. Could he commit another murder and leave one of the girls on their own as the other one dies in their arms? Or will Corey set one of them up for a crime they didn't commit, making the evidence all weigh against them so they have no chance of escape? Asked what he would miss most about leaving the show, Maximus said Asha actress Tanisha would be someone he would struggle not seeing at work. The actor said, "There are too many to name names, but I'll really miss those early days with Tanisha because that's where it all started. It started as this one date, then grew into this huge scale, an important storyline where we were able to work with the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. I remember mine and Tanisha's last scene. It wasn't an emotional scene, but it was for us looking back to 2.5 years ago when we did that first scene in Speed Dial. But I expect Tanisha to be hanging around on the street for years and years to come, as she's fantastic, so hopefully I'll get to do a scene with her again one day if they ever decide to bring Corey back. It seems highly likely the former lovers will be reunited one day.